Hi, Pat the Podcast Editor here. William Shakespeare, Charles Dickens, Stephen King, some of the greatest storytellers the world has ever seen. Well, in today's episode, Dan and Lloyd explain why it's key to tell your business story to the world to build genuine connections with clients and customers alike. Let's have a look.
One of the biggest mistakes I see businesses making is they never talk about any of the work they do. Like there's some businesses doing some amazing work and they just never talk about it. And a big part of marketing is about perception, how people perceive you. And there's lots of people who are doing this the wrong way and building a big perception of them doing lots of great stuff when really it's kind of false and it's manufactured. But there's lots of businesses who are doing good work, and they're not talking about it more. So
I get frustrated when I see that. And the people I've met and I've heard about the great work they do and I really like them. And then I see online, I'm
there's
like,
nothing.
Why aren't they putting
But
this out
that's the stuff that, and even it's all these little kind of touch points. When we meet people and they say, I saw that you've hired again. I saw that your office is growing. And it's all these things that people are seeing that are building that credibility. I think a lot of people think, no one cares about us hiring people or building a team or building out our office. No one cares about any of that. But they do, in the sense that it helps build trust, build credibility. So if you're not sharing that behind the scenes look into your business and how you're growing and developing, then it's going to make it more difficult to build trust and get customers.
Also, with elements where people are like, that's not interesting enough to talk about. I mean, we use, in our marketing and our creative strategy, sometimes we tell stories that aren't about the business or the thing we want to communicate, and then we link the point so we get the attention with the story. So for example, we spoke about this a couple of episodes ago, I think, in the Atomic and Hotmart video where we had that guy rugby tackle me. The story was like, he's angry, he hears this thing going on, and he goes and takes me out of the situation. And then, so once we've got the viewer engaged, got the attention,
then you can tell something more practical.
Atomic and Hotmart aren't going to have these rubbish speakers, we're going to have good ones. So that sentence isn't interesting, but we've got the attention with that story and then we deliver the point. And you can do that, obviously you don't have to have people rugby tackling, but it's that strategy of, you can either tell an interesting story about what you're trying to communicate, or you can tell an interesting story and then go, by the way, now you're here, this thing I'm communicating.
Well, there you have it. Telling your story is what separates a down-to-earth business from a faceless conglomerate. For more useful tips on getting your business story out to the world, jump back to episode 49 of the Business Anchors podcast, and we'll see you next week for another Knowlton Nugget.